9. It says, "And call no man your father on earth, for you have only one Father, who is in heaven." We're dads. And any man, can be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad. He who fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for his children it will be refuge. And that's Proverbs 14 and 26. A father that has never experienced God's forgiveness himself makes forgiving even his own kids, children, or others hard. It's hard for him to do that. And I know in 1 Chronicles 29:17 it says, "I know, my God, that you test my heart and are pleased with integrity." That means honesty, truthfulness, and honor. So forgiveness is something that we need to do first before we can move forward. Jesus did it for us. He sacrificed everything for us. He did the unimaginable, like I said. We need to do that first. And it took a long time for me to finally come to terms. I actually broke down and cried on the edge of the bed. Because I said to my wife that I hated my father because of my upbringing. Now, yeah, I was a bad kid, but I asked him to forgive me. And then in return, I was like the prodigal son. I was the black sheep. I did all the bad things in the family. Drugs, been to jail, prison, you name it. Been there, done that. So therefore, stressing him out, my mom out, I asked them to forgive me, and they did. So that's the first thing we have to do with our kids, is we have to forgive them. Jesus did it for us. So it shouldn't be that hard. It meant a lot to me to be a father and a dad. It was an honor. It is an honor that some men take for granted. And I became really cold-hearted when my kids were taken from me a long time ago. And I was unable to see them for 7 years because of something that happened. And it hurt me. When I first met Stacy, I drank a lot. But the only thing that I ever did was I cried for my kids. I said, how can they take them away from me? That's all I ever wanted, was my kids, to be a dad. It is an honor. And, from the first day that I've seen my two sons be born, I said to myself, wow, I made that? God blessed me with this? Those are miracles. Like with my sister, she was told for her whole life that she would never, ever, ever be able to have kids. Never. She went to fertility specialists, doctors, and everything like that. But a miracle happened. Mike and I, one day, we laid hands on her stomach, and prayed that God would open her womb and allow her to conceive. Guess what? I got a cute little nephew right in the back. Look, hold him up. That's my little nephew right there. That's my miracle baby. Props to my brother right there. The father of a righteous, let me read you the verse first. It's Proverbs 23:24. It says, "The father of a righteous child has great joy. A man who fathers a wise son rejoices in him." Now, us as kids, we do dumb things, crazy things. Sometimes even when we get older, I'm guilty. He's guilty. I think we're all guilty of that. You know, doing dumb things. But, you know, I just want to, you know, say that, you know, when my first son was born, my second son was born, you know, I said to myself, well, I'm going to go to all their football games, all their concerts, their baseball games, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and everything like that. But sometimes, oh, especially your daughter's first date, you're going to be there with her on her first date as a chaperone. Ain't that right? Make sure there ain't no touchy-feely things going on. Right, Brittany? And most fathers would agree with me. Yeah, they would do that with their daughter, right? You know, some people, I mean, do you realize there's so many dysfunctional families and adults out there today, and it's because they've never heard the words like, I love you, I forgive you, or you've been forgiven. You know, and especially from a compassionate Christian father, or just a compassionate father. You don't have to be a Christian to forgive your kids. Just to be a believer. You know, most kids nowadays, all they hear is yelling, fighting, even experience worse stuff. You know, with their moms and dads and their older siblings. Parents today, I mean, they buy their kids' affection with iPods and the latest, biggest, and bestest, you know, cell phone and everything like that. You can't buy your kids' love. You have to be there for them. You know, and it's our duties as fathers, as pastors of the house, as dads, you know, to not give in to them throwing a temper tantrum or something like that. Bust them on the butt. You know, they ain't gonna die. They're not. In Exodus 20:12, it says, honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Colossians 3:21, same thing. Now, this is one that I have a problem with. Is me and Brandon do butt heads a lot. Okay? And Colossians 3:21 says, it tells fathers do not embitter, and I defined it. That means disillusion, poison, sour, alienate, you know, your children, or they will become discouraged, or cold-hearted, depressed, gloomy, emo-ish. You know, 1 Corinthians 16:13. We have to, as fathers, be on our guard. Stand in the faith, be men of courage. Just like Mike said, be men of courage and be strong. We have to. And then this is for you kids who like to be bad and everything like that. Colossians 3:20. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. They have to. You know, some fathers, or should I say dads, we give in to our kids. We hear our kids throw their little temper tantrums or ask over and over and over and over again, you know, please, 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 can I do this? Fathers give in. Mommies have learned to press that mute button, or to do the little Stacy, I can do it, snap, you know, and the kids know how to be quiet, you know, and I can't do that. I can't do what she does. Yeah, there you go. She did a little Stacy snap there, you know, and she just shut up when she does it, and she can do it to any kid. That's for you, any kid. Me, If I see a kid throwing a fit in Walmart, I just give that look. And they shut up. And then one time I got caught. I got caught by the mommy. This kid, she was dragging the kid on the ground, and I just looked at it, and I was walking like this with the kid. And the mommy, and the kid shut up. And the mommy looked up at me, and she started laughing. And I was like, I apologize, master, but if you want, you can leave your kid with me while you do your grocery shopping, or whatever you gotta do, and I promise you that that kid won't act like that no more. I promise you. So then the kid actually she wanted to sit back up in the buggy, in the kiddie seat. And every time I saw that mom with that child throughout Walmart, I said, how's your kid doing? Great, thank you, great, thank you. I said, all right, I said, because I'd be more than happy to take your cart and push your kid around. Because I'd probably push it down the aisle and just let it go. I've done that a few times. I've ran into his heelys. I flung him from one side of Home Depot or Lowe's all the way down to the other side. But that's being a cool dad. You know, there's no more quality time like with families and with dads especially. You know, electronics have become our babysitters. They have PlayStations, you know. You know, they take the place of parental responsibilities. Where did all the dads go? You know, my dad used to beat my butt when I used to get out of line or did something wrong. But today's society has made our kids royal pain in the buttocks. Really has. Because they know and have learned that they can get away with anything and everything, because if their mommy or daddy beat their butts too bad, all they gotta do is tell the teacher or call the cops. Because 911 ain't hard to remember. You know, Proverbs 3 and 11, there's Proverbs 20 and 7. You guys want to write those down? Proverbs 3 and 11 says, my son, do not despise the Lord's discipline. Speaking about beating butts. It says, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves. As a father, the son he delights in. So basically, he's going to discipline us because he loves us. So therefore, when we discipline our kids, it means we love them. It's okay to give them a spanking. Proverbs 20 and 7. The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are their children after them. And then there's Psalms 127, 3 through 5. Now, this is the thing right here. Divorce today causes some fathers to abandon or lose their roles as dads, role models, coaches, their heavenly duty to raise their own kids. Remember, our kids are not ours. They are lent to us by God to guide them down the right path. And then I go to Psalms 127, 3 and 5. Children are a heritage from the Lord, and a reward from Him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. That's what they say, be fruitful, multiply. You know, people have lots of kids. The Mormons. Sorry. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in court. So, it is okay for another man to take care of my kids. They have. When his mama was with somebody else. Okay, I didn't get mad. He's still alive. He ain't dead. My first son, he's still alive. I ain't heard from him in a while, so I don't know if he's dead or not. But still. You know, and it's okay for the mom to have to be both the mom and the daddy. It is accepted in today's society. It's the new modern day family. You know, I want to give a big shout out, especially to the women out there who have to step up and do both roles. It's not easy to be the caretaker and the breadwinner and the disciplinarian. I mean, it's hard. But to you moms out there that have to do that, give you props. I mean, it's not easy just being a dad. Well, you got to do both equally. You know, Stacy was doing it when her and I met, even though she was with William Brandon's biological dad. She was doing both roles. He was never around. I mean, nothing like that. I mean, she was doing both things for him. And, you know, this kid's father, he did things to intentionally to hurt her. Then I showed up one day, I guess, divine intervention, because she wasn't my type. She was too goody two-shoes and didn't like to do nothing. I was a total opposite. Well, they did attract. Because I decided to step in and take Brady and Brandon, you know, as my own. You know, I'm all they know as their dad. And I'm proud to say that I wanted to do it. That is something that I wanted to do, even though some people opposed to it. You know, consider something. You know, what do you want your kids to remember you, their father, their daddy, their pastor of the house for? You know, were you yelling all the time? Were you mean to their mommy? Did you get drunk and stupid all the time? Let's see, did you come home from work late at night, or maybe not at all? You know, or did you go to all their games? Help coach their little league football or baseball team? Did you read them a bedtime story? You know, tuck them in. You know, let them know that you love them. You know, and give them a kiss. You know, good night. You know, and don't forget to mention that big boy that lurks in the closet or under their bed. Because Big Papa ain't gonna let nothing get a hold of them kids. Because, you know, especially when they're sleeping. Because Jesus has got that taken care of. The big daddy of all the daddies. You know, and then us as fathers, we're not supposed to, it tells you in Ephesians 6 and 4. It says, fathers, do not exasperate, meaning to infuriate, madden, pick on, frustrate, annoy your children. Instead, bring them up in training and instructions of the Lord. Well, I'm guilty of that. I am. Me and Brandon butt heads all the time. I pick on him a lot. I pick on Brittany. I pick on Matt. Also, Malachi 4, verse 4, chapter 6. He will turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and the hearts of the children to their parents. Or else, what's going to happen? He will come down and strike the land with total destruction. You don't like the things that we do, you know, with our kids. I want to be, you know, I asked, what do you want your kids to remember you the most for? Well, I want to be that dad that is the coolest dad of all. You know, and my kids can, you know, come to me for anything. Not as a friend, you know, but for wisdom, because I myself have been there and done that. You know, and if they go and do that, Big Daddy is gonna know. They can't hide anything from me, that's for sure. Made a little run. All right, Mike, I'm not trying to be like you. Sorry, you too. And then fathers, us as fathers or daddies, we have to make sure that me or us and mommies are on the same page. Or the discipline factor ain't gonna work. It's not, because the kids know how to play daddy against mommy and mommy against daddy. Well, daddy said that I could, but you said, why can't I do this? It's like, well, and then you say, well, mommy, you're mean, because, well, daddy said I could, but now you're not gonna, you're mean. I don't like you anymore. Kids know how to play us against each other. Really good. For many Americans, Father's Day has a lot of parallels to their relationship with God. It does. You know, especially in Christianity. I mean, many Christians regard their faith in God as being like an earthly father-son or father-daughter relationship with God, often considered their true Heavenly Father. You know, He's the only Father. We father children, our kids are gifts from Him. But like I said, it takes a lot to be a daddy. A lot. And sometimes, you know, circumstances, we can't be daddies to our kids because mommies run away with our kids and take them some other place, far, far away, and we can't see them for a long time. It's happened to me. It's happened to him. He hasn't seen his kids in 5 years. You know, but ask yourself that. I mean, what do you want your kids to remember you the most for? You know, I mean, I know I have a lot of faults. We all do. There is no perfect dad. None at all. So, in closing, I just ask that all you young kids, you know, who look up to your dads and want to be like your dads, just stay on that path. I mean, you guys are going to be influenced in so many ways, especially in college. Them fraternity parties and everything like that are going to seem so fun. And the next thing you know, oops, I'm pregnant. And then you're going to be the daddy you didn't want to be. And then a lot of the times, what happens is they're like, you pregnant? Okay, baby, I'll take care of that. You go back to your dorm room and you pack up all your stuff, back home to mommy and daddy. It happens. And you leave that poor little girl to raise that kid by herself. So if you father a child, be a father to that child. God will never, ever, ever stop being a father to us because He loves us unconditionally. Now, if you keep doing the same thing wrong over and over and over again, well then, one of these days He's going to turn His back on you. He's going to give up on you. So, I'd like to wish you guys, all my brothers and sisters who are the fathers of their houses, happy Father's Day. And I love all you guys. And I hope I wasn't too boring, because I kind of stressed out doing this sermon, because it is my first one, and there's a lot of studying, and you know what, I'm glad Mike gave this one to me, because, you know, he just basically told me, explain to the people